Begin this meditation in Shavasana, reclining comfortably upon your back and relaxing into your breath. Arms in that V shape, upside down V shape. Make sure you're walking those shoulder blades down the back, the shoulders away from the ears. And rest effortlessly into the pure awareness of the true self. Give up any mistaken identities as you slip into stillness, releasing your ocean breath. Observing your everyday breath that's probably a little bit less every day at this moment. Hopefully, you've found a cadence that's a little slower and a little deeper. Continue with nostril breathing, but consider parting the lips to ensure that the jaw is relaxed. Soften the facial skin. Soften your throat. Feel the connection of your back body as it melts into the earth. And feel the receptivity of the front body as it opens up to the sky. Maybe even floats up a little towards the sky. And this is the union of opposites, where we deepen into the earth at the same time as we float up towards the sky. And then inhale deeply into the center of your chest. And exhale through an open mouth, letting out some kind of a sound. And gently move your neck and your head, bringing your chin over to one shoulder. And then bringing your chin over to the other shoulder. And then continue to make the movements that allow you to slowly transition with full awareness of your breath and your body and your mind into a little ball. Opening up that lower back, lengthening the tailbone. Opening up the back of the neck. Drawing the navel to the spine, moving the knees towards the belly or the chest. And then onto your right side. Still in the little ball, and pause there to observe 3 cycles of breath. And then 4th cycle of breath, press down to rise up. Find your steady, easy seat, preparing for about a 5 to 6 minute meditation. Bringing the hands into meditation mudra. And as you sit in meditation, allow yourself to focus on the thoughts that you are having. So one of the misconceptions that I find in the mindfulness practice of yoga, and first misconception that mindfulness is somehow different from yoga. Mindfulness originates from yoga, but as it's been practiced in the West, oftentimes it seems there's this stress and strain to get rid of the thoughts. So the yoga practitioner recognizes that will probably never happen. If it does, it does. But if you try to make it happen, good luck with that. So we're not trying to get rid of the thoughts. But as you notice your thoughts, notice what they are. Is it a memory? Is it a fantasy? Are you imagining something? Are you catastrophizing about something? Are you conceptualizing? Right? So it could be positive, it could be harmful. So notice that too. So the 5 types of cognition first though. So we have the memory, we have the imagination, we have sleep. Perhaps you're ready for a nap now. And then we have the misapprehension, not getting it. And then we have the correct perception, the accurate perception. More likely to have that once we still the misapprehensions, once we can regulate the fantasies and the imagination. But again, for the first few moments, simply notice which type of cognition is occurring in your mind. Memory, sleepiness, imagination, which would include fantasizing and catastrophizing, misapprehension, or correct perception. Perhaps you're having an insight or an epiphany. Oftentimes the yoga practice will lead to insights and epiphanies, revelations. And then, as the Yoga Sutras say, each of these types of cognition, even the correct perception, can be used for harm or for good. You can use an accurate perception to cause harm. In fact, the more accurate your perception is, the greater harm you can cause if you decide to do so. But usually accurate perception will, just by its very nature, be used for good. But if someone decided to use it for harm, it could probably cause the greatest harm of all of these cognitions. So notice whether for you, each of these cognitions is supporting you, validating you, strengthening you, or is it destabilizing? Is it triggering? Is it weakening you in some way? And I can tell you right away that anytime you have a negative thought about yourself, it is harming. It means that you're not connecting with your wholeness. I don't mean to sound judgy or preachy when I say that. I want you to notice that so that you can avoid it. But first we have to recognize that it's happening. And then we can move ourselves towards stillness, wholeness, pure awareness. So when you do notice that one of the 5 types of cognition is harming rather than non-harming, have compassion for yourself first. Don't get into some kind of tug of war with yourself over it. Just notice in a neutral way that that's not helping me. And then the Yoga Sutras instruct us to replace those unwholesome thoughts with wholesome thoughts. So when you notice you're moving away from wholeness, likely moving away from stillness, moving into the fluctuations of the mind, getting into that mistaken identity, move towards wholeness, move towards a more wholesome thought. You get to decide which thoughts you want to focus on. And then perhaps land on one thought, one wholesome thought that supports your wholeness. And let that be your affirmation. It won't be your mantra. A mantra is in Sanskrit. It must have the resonance of that ancient language. But affirmations are very powerful as well. And they can create new neural pathways in your brain. So find a wholesome thought, gather it gently up towards your heart space, and just let it rest there for a moment. And take the left hand and sort of let that wholesome thought land into your heart, and the right hand over just to seal it in there. And then once the wholesome thought is gently nestled into your heart, allow the palms to come together at the center of your chest, thumbs resting on your sternum. Inhale, open wide. Inhale, lift your heart a little higher. As you exhale, keep the lift of your heart. Bow in, chin to or towards your chest. May you be free from suffering and live with ease. Namaste.